Scorpio, pause for a moment and feel the quiet shift moving through the air around you. The next 4 days carry a rare current of energy, the kind astrologers sometimes describe as a financial window that appears only a few times across an entire lifetime. It arrives softly, almost like a distant tide beginning to turn. For Scorpio, this moment holds a particular resonance. Jupiter's expansive rhythm drifts across the sky while deeper planetary forces stir beneath the surface, creating a subtle opening that touches money, opportunity, and direction. Somewhere within this quiet alignment, the possibility of financial expansion begins to take shape. Some people experience shifts like this through sudden clarity about a new path. Others feel it through a conversation about work, a small idea about income, or a gentle realization that a different financial road has started to reveal itself. Scorpio often senses these movements before they fully appear in the physical world, almost like hearing the ocean long before the waves reach the shore. Right now, Scorpio stands near one of those rare, energetic crossings, the kind where opportunity moves close to the surface and life quietly prepares a new direction involving resources, income, and personal power. In astrology, moments like this often carry the atmosphere of a once-in-a-lifetime financial opening, a brief window where prosperity begins to gather momentum. Across the next 4 days, the universe seems to whisper rather than speak loudly. Small signals may begin appearing around Scorpio, a new thought about money, a possibility that feels different from the past, a subtle sense that something valuable may be approaching from an unexpected direction. Financial energy sometimes grows this way, slowly at first, like seeds deep beneath the soil, waiting for the right cosmic season. Then suddenly, the landscape begins to shift, and what once felt distant begins to feel almost within reach. Scorpio may sense that quiet movement forming right now. If this message resonates with you, and you feel ready to welcome financial blessings for Scorpio, write this below in the comments. 888. Scorpio money flow. Sometimes a simple affirmation aligns your energy with the flow already moving toward you. And as this rare financial window begins to unfold around Scorpio over the next 4 days, the first signals of incoming opportunity may already be starting to appear in ways that feel almost too subtle to notice at first. Which brings us to the very first sign. Something begins to gather beneath the surface now, Scorpio. A slow, almost magnetic shift moving through the financial currents of your life. In astrology, certain planetary rhythms arrive like quiet tides, and right now, a powerful combination begins to build. The atmosphere carries the early pulse of expansion. Jupiter moves with a wide and generous breath across the sky, and its influence often touches the areas of opportunity, growth, and material flow. When this expansive force aligns with Scorpio's deeper emotional awareness, ideas about money begin to stretch beyond familiar limits. Possibilities that once felt distant start drifting closer into view. For Scorpio, Jupiter often awakens a sense of vision around resources and prosperity. A new financial direction may begin as a single thought, a moment of curiosity, or a small opportunity that carries the feeling of more. The kind of thought that returns quietly, again and again, until it begins to shape a path forward. At the same time, another current moves alongside this expansion. Mars, the ancient ruler connected with Scorpio's instinct and drive, stirs the energy of initiative. Mars carries motion, momentum, and the spark that brings ideas out of imagination and into action. When Mars energy flows through a moment like this, financial opportunities gain movement. Conversations begin. Projects take shape. A decision about work, investment, or income begins to feel alive. Scorpio often senses this subtle ignition before anyone else notices the shift taking place. And beneath both of these forces, an even deeper transformation moves quietly through the background of this cosmic moment. Pluto, the modern ruler associated with Scorpio, represents profound change, the kind that reshapes the structure of power, resources, and long-term financial direction. Pluto energy carries the feeling of rebirth. Old financial patterns gradually loosen their hold, while new forms of wealth and stability begin to take shape beneath the surface. For Scorpio, this transformation often unfolds slowly at first, like a hidden door beginning to open somewhere within the landscape of opportunity. When Jupiter's expansion, Mars's initiative, and Pluto's transformation move within the same energetic atmosphere, astrology often describes a rare kind of momentum. A financial turning point begins forming quietly, long before its full shape becomes visible. Scorpio may begin to sense this atmosphere now, a feeling that something valuable is gradually building, like the early light of sunrise touching the horizon before the day fully arrives. The energy of wealth and opportunity starts gathering in subtle ways. And very often, Scorpio, the first indication of an approaching financial shift, appears in the most unexpected place, through a quiet signal that rises from within, which leads gently into the first sign of incoming financial opportunity. Sometimes the first movement of financial opportunity arrives quietly, Scorpio, so quietly that it almost blends into the background of an ordinary day. A small idea appears in the mind, gentle and persistent, like a spark waiting for oxygen. In astrology, moments like this often mark the first signal that a new stream of financial energy has started to flow. Scorpio tends to notice these subtle shifts earlier than most. A thought about income returns again in the morning, then again later in the evening, carrying a strange sense of curiosity. The mind begins exploring possibilities, a project, a skill, a direction that suddenly feels full of potential. This is how financial momentum often begins to breathe into existence. A simple concept forms in the imagination, then slowly gathers attention, energy, and movement. Scorpio may feel a quiet excitement growing inside, almost like the awareness of something valuable beginning to take shape. At other times, the signal arrives through the outer world. A conversation opens the door to a work opportunity. A friend mentions a partnership idea. An invitation appears that touches the area of resources, collaboration, or financial growth. These moments may appear small on the surface, yet the energetic tone around them feels different. Scorpio senses the weight of possibility in the atmosphere, like standing near the entrance of a path that leads somewhere meaningful. The mind begins to focus more clearly, attention sharpening with each passing day. Astrologers often describe this stage as the awakening phase of opportunity. Jupiter's expansive influence encourages the mind to see abundance where it once saw limitation. Mars quietly energizes initiative, helping Scorpio feel ready to explore what this opportunity could become. Scorpio carries a natural sensitivity to patterns beneath the surface of life. When financial opportunities begin approaching, subtle signals often appear in clusters. A repeating idea, a second conversation about money, a new direction that suddenly appears in multiple places. The universe sometimes communicates through this gentle rhythm of repetition. During the next few days, Scorpio may notice that attention naturally turns toward resources, value, and future stability. A possibility may begin shining a little brighter each time it enters your awareness. Something about it feels alive. If you feel financial opportunities starting to appear around you, type this number in the comments: 777. Many people see repeating numbers as a small alignment between intention and the flow of prosperity already moving nearby. For Scorpio, these early signals often feel like the first ripple on the surface of a much larger wave. And as this awareness grows stronger, the next stage begins to reveal itself quietly. The moment when small decisions begin shaping powerful shifts in money and opportunity, which is where the story moves next. Opportunities around money often move in a quiet and almost unnoticeable way at first, Scorpio. A single decision appears, small enough to pass through an ordinary moment of the day. Yet within that decision lives the potential for a powerful financial shift waiting to unfold. Scorpio sometimes senses this subtle turning point in the simplest ways. A choice to explore a new project, a moment of curiosity about a skill that could grow into income, a brief conversation about work that suddenly reveals a fresh direction. These moments rarely arrive with dramatic signals. They often appear like a door slightly open, revealing only a glimpse of what exists beyond it. And for Scorpio, that glimpse can feel strangely meaningful, almost like the beginning of something that carries real value. Financial breakthroughs often begin exactly here, inside what looks like a small step. A message sent to the right person, a decision to say yes to a collaboration, a quiet commitment to follow an idea that feels promising. For Scorpio, these early steps tend to carry a deeper emotional resonance. The intuition begins to awaken, gently guiding attention toward possibilities connected with growth, resources, and stability. Something inside begins to whisper that this moment matters. Astrology often speaks about how expansion unfolds through motion. Jupiter opens the horizon of opportunity, while Mars stirs the courage to move toward it. When these energies touch Scorpio's path, even a modest action can begin creating a ripple that travels far beyond the first moment. One decision leads to a conversation. That conversation opens the door to a project. The project begins attracting new people, new ideas, and eventually new streams of income. What once looked like a small step gradually reveals its true weight. Scorpio often thrives during these moments of discovery. Curiosity grows stronger, attention sharpens. The mind starts noticing connections between effort and opportunity in ways that feel almost magnetic. And there is a quiet beauty in this stage of the journey. Each small movement begins to build momentum, like the first stones placed in the foundation of something larger. Financial expansion sometimes grows slowly at first, then begins to accelerate once the path becomes clearer. Scorpio may feel this sense of exploration right now, a growing awareness that certain choices carry the energy of potential prosperity. The future begins to widen in subtle ways, opening space for new sources of income and advancement. And as these small decisions begin shaping the financial landscape ahead, another realization gradually rises into view. The understanding that many of the challenges Scorpio has already walked through hold a deeper connection to the wealth now beginning to form, which naturally brings us to the next part of this journey. There are chapters in life that shape the way a person understands money, Scorpio. Chapters that carry pressure, uncertainty, and long nights of quiet reflection. Many people walk through seasons where work feels heavy and resources feel tight, where each decision carries weight. Scorpio often moves through these seasons with a depth of feeling that leaves a lasting imprint on the soul. At first, these experiences simply feel like effort. Long hours, unexpected expenses, moments where progress seems slow. Yet beneath the surface, something powerful begins to take form. Each challenge gently carves a deeper awareness of value, patience, and financial responsibility. For Scorpio, these moments often build an instinct around resources. The mind begins to understand how money flows, where opportunities appear, and how stability slowly grows through thoughtful decisions. What once felt like pressure gradually transforms into knowledge. Over time, resilience grows quietly inside these experiences. Scorpio develops a steady endurance that supports long-term financial growth. When opportunities later begin to appear, that resilience becomes a powerful advantage. Astrology often connects Scorpio's journey with the energy of transformation, the kind that emerges through lived experience. Pluto, the planet associated with deep renewal, guides Scorpio through phases where strength forms beneath the surface of ordinary life. Those phases often shape a person who understands the true value of prosperity. Through work challenges, financial uncertainty, and moments of responsibility, Scorpio gathers something more valuable than immediate reward. A deeper perspective forms. The ability to recognize meaningful opportunities when they appear. And when financial openings begin to move closer, Scorpio carries the emotional maturity to navigate them with awareness. Choices feel more grounded. Decisions begin to align with long-term stability and growth. Many successful financial journeys share this quiet pattern. Periods of difficulty prepare the mind for expansion, much like soil prepared before a new season of growth. The lessons from earlier chapters slowly become the foundation for future wealth. Scorpio may look back on certain seasons now and see them with different eyes. Experiences that once felt heavy begin revealing the strength they created. Inside those moments, a powerful readiness has been forming, and that readiness becomes especially meaningful when a new opportunity appears on the horizon. Because somewhere ahead, a very specific moment begins to approach, a moment when financial opportunity stands directly in front of Scorpio, waiting for something equally powerful to rise from within. That moment arrives when opportunity meets courage, and it is exactly where the next part of this journey begins to unfold. There comes a moment in every financial journey where opportunity quietly steps into view, Scorpio. It may arrive through a conversation, a project, an unexpected opening connected with work or investment. In astrology, moments like this carry a particular energy, a point where potential begins waiting for action. For Scorpio, this kind of moment often carries a subtle intensity. The mind recognizes the value of the opportunity, and the heart senses the possibility of something greater forming ahead. It feels like standing at the edge of a new path where income, stability, and growth begin to align. Opportunities connected with money rarely arrive alone. They tend to appear after periods of preparation, after seasons that shaped awareness and resilience. Scorpio carries that preparation within, quietly built through experience and observation. And then, the moment arrives when a choice begins to form, a decision to step forward, a decision to explore the opportunity further, a decision that allows the energy of expansion to move through the real world. Mars energy often plays a powerful role here. Mars represents initiative, the spark that turns possibility into motion. When this energy moves through Scorpio's path, courage begins to rise naturally, guiding action toward the opportunity that has appeared. This is where many financial stories truly begin. A single step forward opens the door to a new project. A project brings visibility. Visibility creates new streams of income and advancement. The entire landscape of resources begins shifting through a series of connected movements. Scorpio often senses the significance of this stage. There is a quiet awareness that something meaningful is unfolding. The atmosphere carries the feeling of momentum, like a current beginning to flow stronger with every step taken. In astrology, this intersection between opportunity and courage often marks the start of a financial turning point. The universe provides the opening, and personal initiative allows the opening to grow into something tangible. When these two forces meet, opportunity from the outside and courage from within, the results can expand far beyond the original moment. Income begins to increase, new paths begin to appear, a new chapter of prosperity slowly takes shape. For Scorpio, this phase often feels empowering. Each action builds confidence. Each step reveals a wider horizon of financial growth and stability. And as these movements continue to unfold, another realization begins to emerge quietly in the background. The understanding that financial prosperity holds a deeper meaning than numbers alone, which leads naturally into the next part of this journey, the real power of financial prosperity. As financial opportunities begin to grow and take shape, Scorpio often discovers that prosperity carries a deeper meaning than numbers alone. Money holds a certain energy, the energy of movement, choice, and expansion. When resources begin to flow more freely, life itself begins to open in new ways. For Scorpio, financial prosperity often brings a quiet sense of freedom. The freedom to choose work that feels aligned with personal values, the freedom to shape daily life with greater intention, moving through the world with a feeling of stability and grounded confidence. This kind of stability creates space for something meaningful to grow. Scorpio begins to see how financial strength supports the people and dreams that matter most. Family, loved ones, and long-held goals suddenly feel closer to reach. In astrology, prosperity often carries the energy of Jupiter, a planet associated with expansion, generosity, and abundance. When Jupiter's influence touches Scorpio's financial path, the concept of wealth begins to stretch beyond personal gain. Scorpio starts to sense a wider purpose connected to resources. Money becomes a tool that supports the people around you. It becomes the ability to provide comfort, security, and opportunities for those you care about deeply. There is a quiet pride that grows within moments like these, a recognition that effort, patience, and resilience have created something tangible. The journey that once felt uncertain begins revealing its deeper meaning. Scorpio often experiences prosperity with emotional depth. Resources gained through personal growth carry a different kind of energy, one that feels earned, understood, and respected. That awareness creates a strong foundation for long-term financial stability. Over time, another layer of realization gently appears. Prosperity also brings the ability to create value in the lives of others. A successful project inspires someone beginning their own path. A stable financial life opens space to support family, community, and shared dreams. This is where wealth begins to feel truly powerful. Financial success connects with purpose, intention, and the desire to build something meaningful in the world. Scorpio often feels a quiet satisfaction in knowing that prosperity flows outward as well as inward. In many ways, this stage of the journey reflects the deeper transformation that Scorpio experiences through life. The path toward financial growth gradually shapes character, awareness, and emotional wisdom. And as Scorpio continues moving through this expanding chapter of prosperity, the story of this rare financial window begins to circle back to the present moment, where the next few days may carry more significance than they first appear. Scorpio. The path we walk together through this message carries a quiet rhythm, almost like waves touching the shore and slowly returning to the ocean again. Along the way, small signals appeared, ideas, moments of awareness, and subtle openings connected with opportunity. Now the horizon ahead begins to glow with a new kind of light. The next 4 days hold a rare financial window for Scorpio. In astrology, these brief passages of time sometimes carry an energy that feels almost sacred, a moment when the flow of resources, effort, and timing begin moving in harmony. Scorpio often senses this alignment through intuition first, long before the outer world fully reveals it. Somewhere within your daily life, something valuable may already be taking shape. A conversation about work, a fresh idea about income, or a quiet sense that a new direction holds promise. Scorpio carries a natural awareness for these deeper currents, the kind that move beneath ordinary events. Financial prosperity often grows through a beautiful meeting of forces. Opportunity appears through the world around you. Awareness awakens inside your mind and heart. Then, action begins to move gently forward, step by step. When these three energies come together, opportunity, awareness, and action, something powerful begins to unfold. Scorpio may feel this quiet momentum gathering now, like the slow turning of a key inside a hidden door. Behind that door lives the beginning of a new chapter, a chapter where income expands, stability deepens, and the future begins to feel more spacious. Scorpio understands the value of growth that forms through experience, patience, and emotional depth. Prosperity that grows from these roots carries a strength that lasts. Perhaps the coming days hold a moment that feels small at first. A choice, a conversation, an idea that lingers gently in the mind. Scorpio often recognizes the meaning of these moments with remarkable clarity. The path of wealth sometimes begins with a single step taken with quiet confidence. If you feel ready to receive the financial blessings coming towards Scorpio, write this affirmation in the comments. Money flows to Scorpio. Sometimes a simple sentence aligns the heart with the opportunities already moving closer. And if this message brought a sense of clarity or calm reflection into your day, you may choose to leave a like, share it with someone who walks their own path of growth, or subscribe so we can continue exploring these cosmic moments together. Each message becomes a small circle of connection between people who pause for a moment and listen. For now, Scorpio, allow the coming days to unfold with curiosity. Somewhere ahead, opportunity may already be approaching quietly, like the first shimmer of light appearing across still water at dawn.